Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but a means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy YouTube, you find that a lot of the content you like to watch is, well, very visually engaging, and you're several hours in just watching videos and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your knitting as you would have liked to. So I am an attempt of a solution to that. So if you're new here, this is my Tempestry project that I have been working on for quite some time. I think I started this in August, I want to say, and it is coming due very soon because here we are on the 5th of October, and I need to have this finished, blocked, nice and wrapped up and ready to be sent to my partner's relative who has a 1-year anniversary coming up here on the 21st of October. And I just really would like to get this done, and I am actually into knitting the October part of the month of the Tempestry Project, so hopefully I just have a few, 90 some rows left, give or take, to do before I am finished. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit of heads up, if you are new to watching this part of my channel, there are several other videos where I did talk about some of the difficulties I've had while working on this particular project, and it is a kit, and all of the info is below in the description box where you can find the pattern online, as well as where you can purchase a kit of already measured out yarn and your guide. It's not really a pattern, but a guide of the special year and any commemoration days that you want, and precipitation and all that good stuff. So I don't want to beat a dead horse going over all that info, but it is in the description box if you'd like to check out the Tempestry Project and learn more about what this is. So the thumbnail is actually going to be, I'll tell you now if you're watching and you're like, what? I'm going to knit some more after this video, depending on if I get to the part where I have to start placing the beads for the special day. Now, if I don't get to that part in this video, I'm going to keep going after I stop filming, and then the thumbnail is going to be showing with the beads on it. So it's getting long. I can't even fit the whole thing on view anymore, but the bottom of the project is the very beginning of the year, so we're talking January 1, and it gets hot. This is Borny, Texas of 2018, so this middle part's all like June, July, some of August, and September, October is right around here. So you can see it gets pretty hot. It's actually consistently pretty warm there because the reds represent the highest temperatures, and I think there's only one day where I used one of the hottest colored yarns, and it was Firecracker. I'm trying to see which day it was, but I can't quite. I mean, they all kind of look the same, but there was one hot day where it was like well over 100 degrees, and all the other days have been like in the high 90s, mid 80s and such. So, also, it's Saturday here. I'm talking extra loud today because there are some crazy festivities going on outside, and the racket, I'm glad I filmed later because there was like a little mini parade, and the police had their sirens going and everything like that for a good, I don't know, a long while. And then I had to wait a bit because, I had a feeling I was going to get a phone call perhaps during the opening part at my job where I'm not there on the weekends, but some of the people who work sometimes have questions right when they come in the morning, and I'm just kind of there just in case somebody's a no-call, no-show, or there's some difficulties getting things open, and I'm just kind of on standby for a bit. So I'm glad that I filmed later on, so hopefully I don't have any more crazy interruptions besides just the loudness going on outside. And depending on how loud it gets, I figured I'd just talk as loud as I can without exactly screaming at you guys so that you can hear me. I should probably be talking louder anyway because I'm still using my phone to record, and sometimes I notice the volume levels, at least on my end, aren't as great as far as hearing me when I'm saying different things. So sometimes the volume kind of ebbs and flows. But enough of that. Happy Saturday, wherever you are. Hopefully this video will be uploaded later today, but if not, it'll be uploaded early on Sunday. And yeah, so here I am. Just to give you an idea of my chart, I've been marking my progress here, and then this little star is just so I know the day that I need to add the special beads to highlight the anniversary day of the whole year. And I'm not too far from that, so we'll see. But now I have to knit 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of orange, and I have my kit here. I took out the yarn I need for at least this part of the video, but this is orange, and this is the temperature card that lists all the yarn colors and what temperature ranges they represent, and they also have Fahrenheit on the back. But at this point, it's just what's the color, not so much looking at the degrees now. I'm just like, now that I've knit so far, I kind of have an idea of what colors I need based on what it's telling me, and I don't have to look at the chart anymore to see, like, is this the orange one, or is this you know, caution or something like that. I've gone through enough that I have an idea of what the colors are, or at least the names that match what colors they're supposed to be. So let's just dive right in. Also, I wanted to say that I have gone super, I would say something that is a common phrase when you're really, you know, all the way in, but I'm pretty deep into getting the stuff that I'd like for my belated treat myself for my birthday month of September, and some stuff has already arrived. I'm surprised. I made purchases almost as soon as I was done telling you guys that I've now completed my birthday month of waiting for suggestions and could now act on any suggestions that I had. And I've made quite a few purchases, keeping in mind that I'm not made of money and I still need to buy groceries and stuff later on this month. But for the most part, everything I was able to find was very cool, that I had my eyes on, and I did my very best to support smaller businesses. I stayed away from Knitpicks and webs.com or yarn.com and like Joann's and Michael's and things like that, just to kind of focus on places I found through Etsy or through like Instagram suggestions, as I have a community there as well. If you aren't already networked with me on Instagram, I would highly suggest that you do join me. I'm not super crazy active, but as it is called Paws and Pearls Offline, so that it's more like behind or between video kind of stuff, mostly pictures of my kitties and, you know, what I'm working on for that week and any other tidbits, like what kind of mug I'm using to drink my coffee this day, stuff like that, just kind of like odds and ends that you can kind of browse while you're waiting for my next upload. And I want to pat myself on the back. I've been doing pretty darn well with uploading once a week at least. If I'm on vacation, then I have a chance to squeeze in another day or so, but considering that I don't do a lot of crazy editing, and it's usually just about 30 minutes or so, depending on, you know, how long-winded I am that day that I'm knitting and talking to you guys. And, you know, I'm almost at 30 videos, and I've only been filming since May, so, you know, one a week. But I did have like a massive upload. I think I did 5 videos my very first day when I went live on my channel, like, or it wasn't live, but the first day that my channel had any content on it, I had like 5 at once because I had a chance to do 5. So that was really cool. So I'm pretty happy, and you guys are helping me stay on track, or at least as best as I can stay on track given life and the craziness I had going on at work and stuff like that. So now that I'm kind of more in the groove, I don't have to stay late as often or as late. So I have a chance to come home and work on things when I'm here. But I do have some other hobbies, sort of kind of like a volunteer thing I'm doing at my job. So that's taking a little bit more of my time to like plan for that, because it's not super involved when I'm there, but getting ready for the days that I am there does take a little bit of my time. So it's kind of a mix now, but I'm so excited to be done with these holiday gifts and these other gifts in general. But my partner has a good friend who's expecting her first child with her husband, and they were out together yesterday without me and had ramen, which is one of my favorites, at a new restaurant, which neither of us had been to before, but she knew about it, so they went together. And so I asked when they got back, I'm like, so what's the sex of the baby? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, when is she due? And he's like January. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So this is like almost any time they have a story to tell me and they're missing like crazy details, like, oh hey, I went to a friend's house and they have these really cute cats. And I'm like, well, what's the cats' names? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, you don't know their names? How do you not know their names? That's a big deal. You know I'm a cat person. I want to know the names of the pets. I want to know what kind they are. Are they domestic short hair? Are they fuzzy like tabby long hair? Are they like Koji, who's our gray tabby boy who has medium hair? Or are they like tabby girl like Kabu? Like what's going on? I need the deets. What are the deets? So they kind of aren't as investigative as I am when I'm talking to people. That could just be the researcher in me. I don't know. But I was very surprised, considering that their friend even told them they were expecting their baby before, the first trimester ended. And if you're familiar with pregnancy of humans, it's usually best to wait until at least after the first trimester, so that, or at least, when you're at least like 3 months or more along, because you could, and it is not uncommon, to miscarry before your baby is viable. And it's really sad, because, they were trying really hard to conceive and had been going through doctors and stuff like that. So for his friend to say that they're pregnant so soon, I was like, wow, that's kind of risky, because, for heaven forbid, the baby doesn't survive or doesn't grow and, isn't healthy and, passes before they're to term. And, she and her husband were so excited and telling people like as soon as they knew, then, it's kind of tough. So I was really surprised that they wanted to share that news with my partner. And now that they were confining and them about this information, I figured they would know by now what the sex of the baby will be. So, especially considering that they're doing January, I mean, come on now. And I thought it'd be a nice gesture, even though I actually have never met these people before. They're kind of in a different niche community that hang out and do things, and I'm just not active in that, so I just don't hang out with them when they hang out, because I wouldn't have anything relatable to contribute to any conversation. And they're all speaking another language too, which does not help me participate either. So I said last night, why don't you find out, because they're hanging out today right now, and I'm like, why don't you find out what the sex of the baby is, and I can make a blanket. Now, I insert foot in mouth, because as we all know how long it takes me to do things, and I am still, you might remember if you've watched any of my other videos at the very beginning, way in the way back, the cozy blanket. I'm still working on that, and that was last Christmas's gift. And here it is, October. It's still at work. I brought it to work over the summer because I'm like, you know what? It's getting late. I'm slow. I have a lot more knitting to do with this, and even though it's hot as Hades outside, it's very cold in my break room where I would usually have lunch, and it'd be the perfect place to knit a big blanket because then I'm not shivering because I have it on my lap and I'm working on it here. So that lasted a little bit, but it's still there. I worked on it during lunch. The last couple times I had lunch in our break room this week, so coming along, and I actually brought a new ball of yarn to work yesterday on Friday because I realized on Thursday when I was knitting that I was running out of the ball I had, so I need to bring in a new ball to add to my blanket, so that's good. I think that was the last of that color too, because it's a 3-color block. If you had watched those videos, the first block is like this, it's not a royal purple, it's kind of like a dusty amethyst kind of color, and then the middle color is like a stormy gray, and then the last color is going to be like a light gray. And I have 6 balls of the light gray ready to go, so I have a big box of yarn over here in the corner of my spare room that I'm using, and I'm going to take a look at it and see if I still need any more of that dark gray, or if I can bring the light gray maybe next week and see how that goes. Okay, so we've got some more of the orange. Alright, so I have one more of orange, and then I can introduce Papaya Heather. And if you've heard me talk about this before, I don't like that color. And yet I'm wearing like the kind of color it is, but it just, something about it, it's like this kind of dusty, rosy, red color mixed with some yellow, and I just don't like it kind of like mixed together like that. It's the same kind of thing like with the firecracker color for like the very hottest day that was in Borney, and it's also like a deep red mixed with some yellow or orange, and I was like, I don't know, I don't like those. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to show you guys what I received for my birthday. Like some of it's stuff that I got from relatives. Some of it is stuff that I'm buying myself. Most of it actually is stuff I'm buying myself. And I got some stuff that was suggested to me by a subscriber, so thank you. And it's coming from Bulgaria. So it said it was shipped, and we'll wait, we'll see. I got something else. I got this really cute scarf, and when you see it, when I'm wearing it, hopefully that video, you'll see it, and you'll be like, yep, that's definitely Paws and Pearls because of the theme of my channel. And it's coming from far away as well, and it's going to take like 2 to 3 weeks to get to me, so yeah. Lots of stuff coming from overseas, and not even overseas, some of it's coming from Canada too, and it's just going to take a while, so that's fine because I actually just made a purchase this afternoon before I started filming from a yarn shop / yarn dyer that I went to during the yarn crawl, and I really liked their stuff, but they happened to move recently. And so what happened was I pre-ordered some stitch marker earrings, and I was talking about that during the yarn crawl video, and since the seller had run out of them during the yarn crawl, they were still taking pre-orders, so I placed an order for the earrings, and I got a notice that they were available. And then at the time, I was so busy training and stuff at work that I wasn't able to make it back to this very far away town, and so I emailed the shop and I was like, you know, I would really like to come back and visit and support you guys, buy some more things, and pick up the earrings that I ordered, but it's not going to be till like mid-September. Then mid-September rolled around and I still wasn't able to go, and then I found out that they were moving shops, and they're not really open because they're still setting up their new place. So even though I could go now, I can't because they're not really open, but they still have their online part. So I was like, okay, I'll just make an order, and then I put in the shipping notes, hey, I got a notice that I had my pre-order available, and I had mentioned that I could come in, but since you guys are kind of closed right now, can you just pack up my pick-up item with the thing I just bought? And then when I went to place the order, I did it through PayPal, and I don't see the notes to seller anywhere. So depending on, so everything's like dyed to order, because I just bought some yarn, sock yarn, because that's the easiest thing I know that I can plan ahead to knit without having to figure out how much yarn I need, like if I did a sweater or a scarf or something like that. So it's like, more sock yarn. I have a crazy ton of sock yarn now. But I hope, and I will find out if the earrings are included with my package. And if they're not, then I don't know. I might not, because it's not really part of my birthday haul, because I technically bought those before it was my birthday month. But I kind of wanted to incorporate them because I bought something else from the seller, thinking that they would all come together and I could show you guys all at once. But if they're not in the package, then I'll just have to wait until they're open again and go and say, hey, sorry. I hope they didn't throw. I wouldn't think they would throw them away, because they're clearly for somebody who paid for them. And I did give the shop my address when I did reply to their email saying it was available, saying if you can't hold on to these, just ship them to me, because they did offer that. But then I was like, well, I could come in and buy some more stuff. But it didn't work out that way. So if they're still there, if I don't get them with the shipment, then the next time I'm close to that town, I will go in person and see if they still have them. And then if they don't, it wasn't crazy much. It was like $9 for the earrings, which is pretty cheap considering they're handmade. But at the same time, it's like, I think I would want my money back if they threw them away. But then at the same time, I wasn't able to come to them in person when I said that I should be. I didn't say I would be, but I said I should be free late September. So here it is, almost mid-October. Well, I don't know. It's not. It's like the first week of October, but I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you guys what happens when I find out if I can show you guys everything from that place in my birthday bash reveal or something. I had to think of like what kind of title I want for it. But yeah, I'm super excited. I just got a lot of sock yarn. Some cool accessories, some things I need, and there's one more thing I have to buy because, actually, no, I'm going to probably buy something from this other shop, but I need to find out from my partner the sex of the baby, because I figured I would make a blanket that, they're not like gender neutral kind of people. So it would be like a pink or purple for a girl, or maybe like a yellow or a green, or a blue for a boy, something like that. And this other small shop I want to buy from has their own line of yarn, but the colors are like very vibrant and not really good for like baby stuff. So I figured I'd buy something else from them that is baby color friendly, and see how that goes, and then just talk about how I bought some stuff from them. I was gonna buy this. Well, their line of yarn is DK, and I was really hoping to find some worsted. But you know, depending on how successful their DK is, they might introduce worsted or sock or something like that. But I do really want to buy their line at some point. But I need to find a pattern that I want to knit that is DK, so that I can support them. So now we did our ugly papaya hide. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of this papaya heather color, then more power to you. But I just can't. I just don't like it. But this Victorian is okay. I actually have a cardigan that's kind of like this color. It's like a, I don't know, dusty, antique-y red, Victorian red, maybe. But yeah, I have to do two rows with this one, and I have a ways to go before I get to the other one. Before the end of the video, it won't happen. So you'll see the fancy bead part and the thumbnail. And then hopefully you won't see this anymore, because by the next time you see me, it should be done, and then it'll just be like a grand photo of what it looks like, all blocked and pretty and ready to go to its final destination. But see what I've done. I've made a mistake because, well, I've always make mistakes, but a big one was this person that I follow on Instagram has been doing the same project, but she's using the linen stitch, and it is beautiful. Hers is just, oh, so pretty, and hopefully next time I can teach myself or learn how to do the linen stitch, and then learn how to or when to turn the work to do the back, the front, so it all looks the same on the reverse and all that good stuff. But her ends are very long, and mine are short, but hers are like whoop, like really droopy. And I was like, oh, I've been cutting mine too short, I bet. So since I've done that, it's gonna look weird, but I think I can just not like tie a knot on the end of where I've cut it too short, so I can extend the yarn and then weave in the end that way, so it's not just very abrupt, and it's a little smoother. And then I got to figure out, like, you know, what side is going to be the good side, so that I only weave in the ends on the back end of the knitting. So there's a bit of some more surgery I need to do on this before it's 100% ready to go out. But I was thinking, I was really ambitious. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep knitting, you know, after I film that video. I'm going to knit next weekend. And then I got stuck on working on some socks that I also need to have done. And that was the last video I showed you guys. And I've been working on that during my volunteer session at my job. And since it's not like me interacting with people, I can actually get quite a bit done. It's just I have to time it right, so it doesn't like distract me from what I need to do, and like the timing and stuff like that. So we'll see. That one, since it's worsted weight, it's coming along a lot faster. So I might actually, thinking of that, if I don't buy the one brand's DK weight for something else, I might look on Ravelry and see if there is a DK weight sock pattern and do that with it, because it's like a sturdy acrylic and merino blend, I think is the yarn fiber content. I had to look it up again, but whatever it is, it's definitely going to be okay for socks on your feet, if not the baby blanket, but they don't have enough colors yet for that, that are soft colors for babies. So we'll just finish up this row with a Victorian, and that'll give us just about a normal length of video, and then I'll just keep knitting off camera, and then you'll see me in a minute. Well, you won't see me in a minute, but then you'll see what the thumbnail looks like when you watch the video. Of course, you've already watched it and you saw the thumbnail, but you know how that came to be. If any of that makes sense. But oh my gosh, so happy to be almost done, making so much progress with my holiday gifts. I got to like hunker down and block them and everything like that, and get some more sock blockers for like the big feet people that I'm knitting for, and just be ready to work on stuff for me. And I have so many things that I want to do for myself, so many things I already bought that I just haven't been able to work on yet, because I really want to make sure everybody has their gifts for holiday. we're moving along. We're moving along. And the rest of the stuff, besides the blanket, it's tiny stuff, so should be good. Should be able to get that out real quick. Oh my gosh, Kabu is going. She caught something. That's usually what she does when she catches something. She makes this really like forlorn noise, and it always sounds like she's in pain, but she's actually very happy. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, my kitties have been super cuddly because it's been cold. Oh, it's like 63 today, and I'm like, yay! It's cloudy. I'm wearing a sweater. My makeup's not melting off my face. Like this is me. Like Pacific Northwest. Like I love it. Sweater, weather. This is me. This is me. I'm in my zone. I'm in my element right now. All right. So we just finished our 2 of Victorian. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rows before I can start doing the beads. So not much longer. And then after that, I just have to keep knitting through to the end. And so here we are. So I have just finished knitting the Victorian 2 rows. My video cut off, but instead of going and looking and seeing where it cut off, I'm going to assume it was around the time I was celebrating how close I was to finishing everything. Or it might have cut off when I was talking about Kabu and how she was yowling because she caught a prey and was like shouting for joy because she's so victorious of her catch. I don't know. But I did want to, before I left, wanted to tell you guys that, or show you the last 2. So this is Victorian. This was that heather color that I don't like. And we had some orange. And I don't think I had introduced anything else to you guys. Nope. It was just 4 of orange, 1 of papaya, 2 of Victorian. So there we are. And I have so much more to go because this is just like almost mid-October. So then we have November, probably like that or so, and then December, maybe. I don't know. It's a bit, but we're almost there. I'm almost there. And then when I'm done, I probably won't be filming knitting this anymore because I have some other projects to work on for the Knit Ahead for the Holiday series to show you. Now that this is kind of like at that last stretch, I don't really have too much more that I have to do with it. But I do need to, I was talking about fixing up the ends that I cut too short, so probably using some of the leftover yarn to extend the end so I can weave it in really nice to the back side, whatever I decide is the back. I keep like flipping between which one I think is the best looking, but thankfully the beads are going to be on both sides, so whichever side I pick, the beads will show up on either or. And then I want to attach like a dowel. Well, it's not really a dowel rod. I actually bought, I was working on this really long project for my cousin's children of an owl that I kind of like wove embroidery yarn between some, they were like dowel rods, but they are like cake skewers to like stick cakes together. But they're just like Wilco dowel rod thingies, but they were from the baking section for cakes. But I had a lot of extra of those from the project that I worked on way before. And so I was thinking attaching one of those, like painting the caps with this nice metallic acrylic paint, and then looping in the top of the Tempestry, and then attaching more yarn to it so that it would be a wall hanging all ready to go for the couple. So I'd definitely show you guys what it looks like finished with all of the fancy embellishments on it. But as far as showing you guys any more of the knitting process, I think I'm at the point where I don't need to anymore. Like I'm far enough along where I'll just be able to finish up in the next day or so and then work on the final details before I can block it and wrap it up and send it away. So that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.